Oxford, 1996. The hand floated up through the weeds, pale as pink, the fingers curled inwards, looking like an exotic flower. In the rippling water, the fingers appeared to move. Susan stared at it, trying to decide what she was seeing. Perhaps not a flower, maybe some kind of water creature. It had something of the look of prawns about it. And then suddenly the pieces fell into place and her brain registered what it actually was. She gave a tiny, shocked gasp and then, without hesitation, jumped into the shallow water. She grabbed the hand with both hers and pulled with all her strength, praying that it was not too late. It came up easily, far more easily than she expected, and the momentum threw her backwards into the stream. She sat down abruptly, up to her chest in water, still clutching the hand. She could see it clearly now. It had been cut off just above the wrist, quite neatly. The severed end looked just like a joint of meat in the butcher's. She stared at it, bemused that a piece of a human being could look so exactly like that of any other butchered animal. She was revolted, but at the same time fascinated by it. Is this what they meant by horrid fascination? Her instinct told her to throw it away, fling it back into the water, but she couldn't let go. Her fingers had locked onto it. In fact, her whole body seemed to have closed down. She couldn't let go. She couldn't stand up. She could only stare in horror at the grisly object. After a while, she began to make a strange mewling noise, like that of a small animal in distress. Nyeh, nyeh. And that was how Joshua found her. He had followed the sound, thinking it was some small animal in distress, and he found this girl sitting in the freezing water, her gaze fixed on something she was holding in front of her. He stood on the bank and called to her, "Hey, are you okay?" No response. The girl continued to stare at the thing in her hands, continued to make the small animal noises. He waded in. "Hey," he said, bending down to bring his face level with hers. "You need to get out. You'll freeze if you stay there. Here, let me help you." He put his arms around her, but he couldn't work out how to get hold of her. He tried to get his hands under her armpits, but couldn't get a grip. Her arms were in the way, and she was as unyielding as a marble statue. He went behind her and tried again from the back. He straddled her and managed to get a grip, but he still couldn't pull her out. She was dead weight. He needed her to help him. He went back round the front and bent down again so his face was level with hers. "Look, you need to get out," he said. "Why don't you put that down and I'll help you?" There was a momentary check in her keying, and a look of puzzlement moved briefly over her face, but she remained locked in her strange communion. He looked down at the thing in her hand, and it was only then that he realized what it was. And the strangest thing happened. He had a brief surge of not quite memory, a doubling of his vision with another picture momentarily superimposed on the reality he was seeing. A powerful feeling of déjà vu.